Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have is the Ebuchi Shidogami or White's number 2 Bunka 170 millimeter knife. So this knife has a 3-layer construction. The harder core steel is Shidogami white paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel. Heat treat, they do it by eye, but it's around 61-ish Rockwell. That's their target. The construction on either side of that hard core steel, you have a soft iron, reactive iron cladding. So the entire knife is reactive cladding and core. That cladding has a kuda-uchi or blacksmith finish on it. And it also has a very interesting hairline or a longitudinal scratch pattern to the finish. And it's pretty deep. We'll get a close-up look at it, but it's kind of a deeply brushed, heavily textured brushed finish. It's a really cool, unique look. I don't know if I've seen this quite like this on any other knife line yet. And you know I've seen quite a few knives. It's a really neat look. The weight and dimensions on these is going to vary a little bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 182 grams or 6.4 ounces. 172 millimeters is the edge length from the tip around to the chin, the back of the heel, or about 6 3/4 inches. Overall length is about 313 millimeters. These knives are thick and gnarly and not skinny minis. They, you know what a laser is. This is not a laser. So they're about, this particular one is 4 millimeters coming out of the handle, and then halfway down it's 3 millimeters, and then it keeps 2+, almost 3, making the turn at that reverse sword tip, and then you can see it doesn't really thin down until you hit the grind. So this is a very stout, very stiff blade. It's nicely finished. It's the workmanship and craftsmanship on this is very well done. But again, they do not tend to create thin blades in this line anyway. So let's see here. Finish it up. The blade height is about 49 millimeters at the heel, so quite tall. Plenty of room for your fingers in a grip. And let's see, octagonal walnut packawood ferrule is the handle. So nothing fancy, just your basic, decent quality walnut black packawood ferrule. Smooth fit and finish on this. Pretty nice install on it. So it's a good package. The circumference is about 73 millimeters or 2.9 inches where the ferrule meets the packawood. You've got a generous spot here for a pinch grip for your finger here in the neck, and you can see you got lots of room there for a pinch grip. Balance point is going to be right about there on this blade. It's a little bit behind me for a pinch grip. Out of the box edge, I'll give it a 5, maybe 6 out of 10. Let's take a close-up look. This is a very unique finish on this. So you've got some kanji. It's a little, I don't think it might be hand chiseled. It's a little hard to tell. It could be hand chiseled. I think it might be. Looking at it, trying to look at it really close here. I'm pretty sure that's hand chiseled. It looks like chisel marks on there. It just doesn't have a lot of texture. I think with the finish they put on, it doesn't have a lot of that feel when you run your fingers over it. But if we try to capture that a little bit. So let's zoom in here. You can see that finish. So it's highly textured. It goes this way with the length of the blade. And so some people call that a brush finish. It's really nice though. It's got a lot of texture to it. You've got a frosted blade road with a pretty textured frosted finish on it. There's your core steel. They've got a very rounded spine, very rounded choil. They actually put a lot of finish work on that choil and a lot of attention to detail on that. So they've spent a fair amount of time on finishing the shape of this blade, including the edges. So the grinds are nice on it. So it's a very well executed, well crafted blade. Again, very, very stiff. This is no mamby-pamby. So let's look at it on our cutting board. You'll see they've got a serious upsweep to the belly. Pretty high tip on there. So yet they still have a little bit of flat towards the back third of the blade. And so I'm going to get way out there. No, can I rock this? Yeah. You can rock this. Lots and lots of belly towards the tip. And you get a little bit of flat towards the heel. So you want aggressive belly in that last third of the blade. That's a really good example of it. Very aggressive. So kind of a unique shape. You'll see that these don't lose a lot of thickness on the blade. They've got a fairly low grind, and then the blades are pretty thick. So, you're going to have great product separation, great food release on these. They're going to wedge a bit in harder ingredients. This is not a super thin laser style knife, but it's got a lot of stiffness to it, a lot of confidence to it, and really very interesting knife line. Super unique finish. So this is the Ebuchi Shidogami number 2 Bunka 170mm knife.